Hello everybody, this is Daniel Hood and I'm going to show you guys how to make a mix CD the easy way. We're going to make a professional mix CD with Ableton Live, and we're going to warp the tracks and make it sound like you're a totally awesome DJ, but you're really not, because you're just making a computer make a mix CD, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that with Ableton. So for those who don't have Ableton already, you can go to www.ableton.com and click on their products, and you can download Ableton Suite, Ableton Live Intro. Either one of those will work for this, because all we need is our Audio 1 and Audio 2. So let's make an Audio 1 and Audio 2. And this will be like our left turntable, and this will be our right turntable, and we only need a minimum of, one of these rows, because in the Ableton Live Intro it only gives you 8 rows, just down to here, but in the full version it gives you infinity. I got the intro version first, and that sucked, but so that's where you get Ableton. And then after you get Ableton, you need some tracks to actually make your mix CD, and relatively you want your tracks to be kind of all the same tempo, and you want those tracks to be a really good format of sound, be really good. I got these tracks, I didn't get these tracks from Beatport, but I'm just using this as a presentation. And what I did was I put all those tracks, I went to Documents, or if you're on a Mac, you go to your User folder, and then you find that Ableton folder, and then you click on it, then go to Library, and then click on Samples, and then put a folder in there and call it Tracks, and then I put another folder and named it Organized Set. This is where I access my tracks from Ableton. So I just put that in there, and I'm going to warp 3 songs for you. I'm going to start the CD off. Okay, then once you got your tracks all set up and ready to go, we're going to set up Ableton and get that ready to go. Okay, so to find your tracks, well, first off, before we do that, we're going to go into Options and Preferences, and go to your Record Warp Launch thing right here, and then select Auto Warp Long Samples. Click that to off, because we don't want to auto warp our samples, and I'll show you why. Okay, and you want to delete the default MIDI right here, like right click and cut, and just make sure you have 2 audio tracks right here, and then go into Audio Effects. Click on your little button right here, Audio Effects, and then we're going to drag an EQ3 on each one. Audio 1, drag it on Audio 2, okay, and then we're going to use a spectrum analyzer just to see what our frequencies are going, and we're going to drag that in the master, okay. And we want to select our tempo and say maybe we want to make this whole CD 131 beats per minute. Okay, since it's kind of like a dance CD. Alright, and go into your first folder right here, click on first folder, and that will bring you to your library folder that is in your Ableton folder. So you go to your Documents and go to Ableton, and there's your library folder. See how it says Beach Boys, same thing. Click on Samples, then go to Tracks, and go to your Organized Set, and we're gonna drag a 1 on here, on Audio 1. Okay, and then since it doesn't automatically warp this, we're gonna click Warp right here. Okay, and then it automatically just gives you 1 right here. By the way, you can zoom in and out by pressing on the top right here with the magnifying glass, and move up and down, and that will zoom in and out. And that's kind of a picture of our audio. So we want to go to the first beat of this song. Since this is a song that is the first beat is the first measure, we want to start our track on the first beat of the first measure. So we're gonna double click on that, and you can double click to set these warp markers, and just set your first one right there and then delete the other one, because you need at least one in here. Okay, so that's the first beat, and then we can press play up here. It's a little loud, and we can see our levels, and this one's kind of too loud. We're gonna divvy that on down, and we're gonna start warping this. And let me explain what warping is. Warping is the process of mapping your audio to the main tempo that is up here on the top left hand corner. 131, we want to make this 131 as well. So I can see here that this is the downbeat. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. So that's probably, it's almost right on. So I know this one goes right here, and we just need to go through this, make sure the first beat of the measure is the correct one. So I think this is 120, like when you move these markers up and down, you can see the BPM. If you already know the BPM of the song, you can just type it in right there and it'll do it all for you. So we're gonna delete this warp marker. I'm pretty sure this is a tempo of 127 beats per minute. I'm gonna zoom all the way out and then go to the end, make a warp marker right there, click on it to make it sure it's selected, and then select 127. So 127. And let's see if that worked. Boom. 1 2 3 4 2 2 3 4 3 2 3 4 4 2 3 4. You see how that works? So we're gonna analyze this all the way through and see if it's working all correctly, and we're gonna put in more warp markers where necessary. I think this is off just a little bit. I'm gonna set that right there, because sometimes when you're warping audio, it's not going to be like exactly the same tempo consistently all the way throughout the whole song. Even some songs from Beatport, because sometimes they slow down the tempo to a specific tempo and then they speed it up. Like a lot of techno songs, you won't run into that, but you just want to check and make sure that your whole track is warped exactly on the downbeat, where the downbeat should go. So this is saying 1 2, or here, 1 2 3 4 2 2 3 4 3 2 3 4 4 2 3 4. Now measure 5. So after we make that all the way correctly throughout, we can just press play and then make the tempo go down to, like, I don't know, 80 beats per minute, and that will be the exact tempo that we want. But we're making the CD at 131 beats per minute. So click stop, and I'm just gonna warp the rest of this and show you kind of what it's like. And I'm gonna do another track just super fast, so I'll be right back to do that.